doing design work for an RV and camper van outfitter.
Okay, that's right. You were telling me that.
Yeah.
Okay. So on this one, we're going to focus more on the subject two that you got. On?
There we go.
There we go. All right. Welcome to the Money Making Money podcast with all of our people here. Mark Anderson, Alberto Ceja, me, George Aplicano, and then our guest, Scotty
Vleeschouwer.
The Vleeschouwer, there it is. I butchered
Scotty
that.
V. Scotty V.
Yeah,
Scotty V.
Scotty V's
Scotty
here.
V. So
Way easier.
right. So yeah, he's a newer investor to us. So we bring in investors from all walks of life, right? And we just try to learn from them and see what they did and how they got their first deal, right? And you're fresh; it's still in your memory banks. So we'll
6 months,
right? We'll deal in it. So tell us a little bit about yourself, like I guess where you're from, and what brought you here to Arizona.
So from Maryland, East Coast boy, graduated college, got one job, got another job, kind of bounced around. Ultimately met a lady that brought me from Texas to Arizona. So that wasn't a job. And that's how I landed here in Arizona. And during that transition to here, I wanted to get into real estate. I was looking into it in Texas, put it on pause, moved out here, and that's how I met you guys when I first came out.
You met us at the Steve Trang Disruptors
the
meetup.
Disruptors meetup.
Yep.
Yeah, great group of wholesalers and
Investors
and
and
networking. Yeah,
Yep.
awesome.
Networking event. here
Shout
in
out to
Phoenix.
Steve Trang.
Yes.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, I love going to those meetups there.
Yeah,
Nice.
absolutely. And so then, so you came out here, and you, I guess, got your real estate license.
I did, yeah. Got it 2.5 weeks or whatever, the fastest you could.
Right. Okay. And so then, all right. So then, how long did it take you to actually get a deal to actually do a real estate transaction or?
So I got my license and hung it in middle of February. I closed my first deal in like June.
June. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was moving to a whole new city, knowing no one.
Yeah, I
Hustled,
know.
door knocked. So what is that? June, backtrack, April, May, June, 4 months?
4 months. Yeah.
4 months to get your first deal. Okay. And then to walk us through a little bit of how that happened, or what did you do to acquire it?
Yeah, I mean, simply put, I met the guy at an open house.
So you were doing open houses.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did a combo of just door knocking. I'd wake up and door knock Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. And then Tuesday, Thursdays, I'd do a little combo of like phone calls. I didn't really like the phone, so I'd really just like relaxed on Tuesdays and Thursdays is how it turned out. And then, Saturday, Sundays hold open houses. And this was open house for Janine Igliani. She's a pretty big lady over in Gilbert doing lots of business.
Okay, cool.
And,
Okay. Okay, so you did the open house. He walked in. You started talking to him.
yeah, he had a bad situation with another agent. Like the day before, he wanted to put a contract in, and then the house went under contract. And he was looking for like the cookie cutter. I don't know if this is a local podcast, but Gilbert, 3-2.
Okay.
Under 250. He wanted like the house everyone wants out there.
Yeah.
So thank the Lord that.
I know that we'd be buying that right now at 250. Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah. And so he missed the deal and he blamed the agent. Ultimately, I know the market, and I mean it's really tough in that.
Yeah, in that price range.
That price range, that area. But scooped him up. It was the house for his daughter, and.
Oh, okay, cool.
Right. Awesome. There's your first deal.
That was
30
first
days
deal.
later, right? It closed?
Yeah.
Right? 30 days later, he financed it and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And that was a retail real estate deal, right? So then how did that segue into your first investment deal?
Yeah. What made you want to get into the investment?
Right. In the investment space, yeah.
Was that the main reason you got into real estate?
Yeah, investing is why I got into it and how I discovered it back when I was working the 9-to-5 thing in Texas. And then when I came out here, I was like, I saw what agents was doing. I was working with an agent in Texas, and I was like, I love that. Like, they're hustling, they're out there grinding. You know, they don't have some boss to answer to. At that time, I was just like, screw the man kind of thing, right? Like, that was the mindset I was going through. And when we came out here, that's how I got into the sales side. But the investing side is ultimately where I started and what I love the most about it, really.
Right.
Okay, cool.
Exactly. Yeah. So, so what? How did you learn your investment? What pieces of data did you gather? How did you start understanding? Okay, versus buying a property retail. Well, what do I have to do in order for me to start looking at the investment? What is a good investment?
The investment side, ultimately, it's said so many times, but I was reading books, just book after book, and I stumbled across Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and understood real estate and financial freedom, and that's when I saw the power of real estate. I don't know if that answers your question.
A little bit, right? Because most people, they just go to YouTube. They get their degree in YouTube University, and then they go out there and they start hustling, right? So, right, and other people, they're like, nope, I opened up an actual book. I read through the whole entire book. Me personally, I'm audiobooks, right? So, and
you started going to meetups too.
Wow.
Yeah, that was all. It was probably a 2-year process between when I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, realized like real estate's even a thing, and then like being here and closing on a property. Like, it was 2 years of learning, fear, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Look at houses in Texas, and then I moved here, and
everything new.
Yeah.
Jeez, just everything new. So then, all right. So then, you ended up buying a property at Superior. What Superior?
Florence.
In Florence,
the town. Yeah,
it's all. It's
one of those out there.
It's out there, right? Yeah. So I was looking at properties out there in Glow, Miami.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's far.
Miami, Arizona.
Right, Miami, Arizona. So
didn't even know there was a Miami.
I know.
I heard of Globe. Is it out there near Globe?
Yeah, it's out there. It's
Gotcha.
out there.
Out there.
It's out there.
That's all
Yeah,
you can
exactly.
say.
Just go a little further, and there you go.
Yeah.
All right. So Florence. All right. So how did you? What happened there? Walk us through the process on
how did you get that lead? Was it from the MLS or?
This one was from the MLS.
Okay.
So if you backtrack my story, I left my W-2 job and went self-employed. So I couldn't get a traditional loan of any sort. I had cash, but not enough to lock down a few $100,000 house. So what I did was I was like, I knew about the seller financing thing, and I got on the MLS, and I saw a property that met my criteria, pretty run down, $100,000 range. That's why it's on the outskirts of town.
Yeah.
And I just messaged the agent, will your seller do seller financing? Okay. Will your seller do seller financing? Ultimately, I found out there's a filter in the MLS for that.
So you were...
I was going to say, why didn't you just put the filter?
I didn't know at the time.
Okay,
gotcha.
all right.
So now I get those auto-fed. But
Nice.
eventually, a lady said, I think he might be. Let me ask. And she did. She asked, and I was like, what does he want? What terms? And he came back with pretty favorable terms. I mean, he was 7% interest. It was like 7% with 10% down, or 6% with 20% down. And I was like, still, either way, I mean, that's not bad.
So the property was up for sale for $100,000, right? Or how much was it?
$85,000.
$85,000. Okay. Did you did negotiate price?
No, I was just like, if he's doing seller finance, give me what is his terms. Like, I'll pay the price he wants, and yeah.
Okay. And so then 10% down with a 7% interest rate is one option he gave you. Then 20% down with a
20% down payment.
20% down, no adjustment to the rate?
No, it's a fixed rate 30-year.
No matter what, at 7%, he was that's no matter what, how much you wanted to put for the down. Okay.
Wait, no, so it was 7% if I did 10% down, 7% interest rate, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think we got confused there. So then it was 6% interest rate if I put
20% down. Yeah, that's why I was
I'm
trying to clarify, right?
Tongue-tied there, I guess.
Okay, so good.
I understood him.
Right. Yeah, no. I'm sure you did, right? And okay, so when you saw those two options, what did you choose out of those?
Yeah, so I chose the less money out of my pocket.
Okay.
I know it was only at $85,000, it's like $8,000, $8,500, and I was like, I can throw the other $8,000 into the house to clean it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And ultimately, I knew the houses in that area rented for around $1,000, so changing between 600 and 700 a month, it's not going to change
Yeah.
the cash flow a whole lot. So I did that.
Okay.
500.
And then is it amortized over 30 years or is it just interest only? Or
30 years.
30 years fixed.
Oh, nice.
Fixed rate. Yeah.
Okay, all right. And then so now you have it currently rented. So how long ago was this?
This was summer. Today I was on there in
Summer of last year, right? Of 2019?
August. So it was an
Okay.
August utility. I put them in my name. So
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And then-
nice, man.
hot, real hot.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I bet. And so then, how many bedrooms? 3 bedrooms, 2 baths?
Yeah, it was 3 bed, 2 bath.
Okay, has square footage?
1,200.
1,200 square
Wow.
feet. Okay,
Mhm.
so 1,200 square feet on the outskirts of town, and then rents are about 1,000. Right?
Yeah, I rent it for $1,050.
Okay,
Nice.
1050. Awesome, awesome. And what's your monthly payment?
All in, it's like $613.97.
613. Okay,
Wow.
so you have about $400 of cash flow, right? And then from that cash flow, you don't pay any utilities or anything like
No.
that. They pay everything
They
else,
pay
right?
everything. It's all in their name.
Awesome,
Nice, man.
awesome.
And so, you just did a rental, not like a lease option or anything, right? Just a rental.
Just a rental, yeah,
Oh,
just straight
that's
up.
awesome, man.
Yeah, there's a middleman in there called Loan Care. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but
It's
Yeah.
a servicing company.
Yeah.
The servicing,
so
yeah.
they service it. The guy wanted a servicer to collect my taxes
Absolutely.
and insurance, and I mean it's kind of nice. I have someone to call, and
Yeah.
they
can
keep
have
track
everything.
of how much I paid and all that. So.
Yep.
Yeah. So then now, in regards to repairs on the property and things like that, have they called you on anything like that?
I got real lucky, man. These guys, before they moved in, they laid asphalt under the carport and then like made a little driveway. And they asked me beforehand, "Do you mind, if we lay?" Because it was just dirt under there. And I was like, "Please, like knock yourself out."
Wow.
Who was this? The
renter?
tenant?
The tenant, yeah.
Wow.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this is just a lease, right?
Just
You
lease, yeah.
1 year?
2 year.
2 year.
Oh,
They asked,
nice.
so I had asked $1,100 originally for the lease, and the guy came through and he walked through and he's like, "We've been at our place for like 7 years. We hate moving. Would you knock the price down if we did a longer lease?" And I was like, "Sure, yeah,
Okay.
$1,000 bucks."
Wow. And then they put in asphalt, and I'm assuming that they're taking care of the property.
Yeah, I was just down there. I stored a trailer there for, I guess, what is it now? February. So from August to February, I
Oh,
stored my own trailer. I told him I feel bad about it. I was like, "I'll come get it," and I never got it. But I just grabbed it, and it looks great, man. They ripped up these like dead bushes in there. They painted the side of the shed. I got, like I said, I got lucky.
Dang, that's pretty good.
Awesome.
That's
awesome.
pretty good, man. That's really good.
Yeah, and then if you could forward us some pictures or whatever, we'll put them up.
Yeah,
We'll
I
put
can do
them
that.
up. We'll put a link
Before
so
and
that way you
after.
can see
Yeah.
the before and afters and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
let me
That would
put a
be
note
great.
down here.
That's pretty cool, man. So that was your first, like, investment transaction, huh?
It was, man, very first one. And like I said, it probably took me 2 years to like.
To get to that
It
point.
I had to build up balls. Like no one in my family's done this, nothing. So I had to like.
Yeah.
It's all fear, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are
Yep.
in it. People buying their first house, there's a lot of fear there. And
Yep. No,
so
I
that
get
was
it.
that was there. It took 2 years pretty much to basically bite
Yeah.
the bullet and just be like, enough is enough. Let's do
Right,
it.
for yourself though, right?
Yeah,
But
for
yourself,
yourself.
right? Yeah. So
Now you got a house that somebody else is paying for.
Yeah, I know, man.
And,
And it was now I just closed on another one last Tuesday. So now it's just like, let's do it. You know?
Yeah.
wow, awesome.
Same way?
No, this one is
Traditional,
traditional
okay.
financing. Yeah, it's going to be owner occupied.
Okay, nice.
So I got a good loan on it.
So we'll get into that one right now in a second. So, so you bought this last year. So based off of the current market, you bought it at 85. Where do you think that it's valued right now as far as the house?
Best guess like 120, 130, right around there.
130.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
My homeowner's insurance, they're kind of picky, I guess, for whatever reason. I don't my first experience with it, but they sent 2 people out to inspect it, and they basically made me raise my like the amount that they would value up to
Right.
130.
Okay.
And so I was like, oh man, I didn't think it was worth that much. I like went on and pulled some comps down there, and yeah, houses are going for like 120, 130.
Oh wow! Look at you.
Yeah,
That's
very-
awesome, man. That's
Oh, yeah.
awesome. Congratulations, man.
Thanks, man.
Score on
No,
your first deal.
the guy was, when he had it in the MLS, was he originally selling it for the 85?
Yeah, he was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was selling for 85. It was kind of run down too.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. Why? Because it was kind of run down?
Yeah.
Okay, so you did do some of the...
Yeah, I did, paint and paint tile carpet.
Okay.
Okay.
Paint talk. You did that yourself?
Yeah, all myself.
Really?
That's a
Nice.
huge learning thing through this year, man. Is I love the construction stuff.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay.
We got a couple houses that we need to sell. No,
Yeah, I did all the tile myself, man.
Oh, yeah. I did
Wow.
that on one of the...
So you
my
grabbed your
ones.
other 8K that you had available, right? And you started and you put that towards the tile and the carpet and the paint. And all
Exactly.
That. Okay.
Yeah. So I had at the time about like $30,000 to use and live on, and I had just gone self-employed, and so I took 8 of that, 8 of the other 16 in.
Nice.
Okay, so you're
That's
all
not
in for
bad.
$16,000 out of pocket. At 85, now it's worth 125, and it's cash flowing $400 $400 every single month. That's
Really
awesome.
good,
That's
for
awesome.
the first transaction. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
That's awesome.
bad
That's
at all.
awesome. That's awesome.
we got to start looking to Florence.
I know exactly.
Yeah.
Florence, let's
Apparently,
go to Globe.
A big trucker company is opening a manufacturer out there. I don't know if you guys heard that, but
No?
down there out in Casa Grande, so that whole area apparently. This is just word of mouth. I heard,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Casa Grande's kind of on fire right now,
Yeah.
a little bit.
Is it?
A lot of companies are always looking at it, but nobody has actually pulled the trigger yet.
Mhm.
There was supposed to be a battery company, Nikola, like it's like
Okay.
like Tesla, but the opposite, right?
Yeah.
Nikolai or something like that.
Mhm.
They were the opposite of Tesla or whatever, but they were supposed to go and open down there. There's a couple of water parks that are also opening.
Yeah,
Homes are
that's
still
what I heard.
Homes are still inexpensive there. It's
Yeah,
just
very.
that what was it? Templeton was in here, so we had Templeton Walker, one of our guests over here. He's an investor, and he was like, "The only property I've ever lost money on was one in Casa Grande."
Really? Oh man.
But I wonder how long it had been. Already
It's been a
too.
while. Yeah, it's
I'm
been a
sure.
while. I'm pretty sure.
Different now.
Yeah.
So don't let that scare you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What steps did you take to get over that and say, fuck it, let's do it?
Yeah, I can't even explain it. It was just like a do or die thing. Like, I knew real estate investing was the way to go for financial freedom, and eventually I was just like, Scott, stop messing around. Like, just the numbers work on paper. You know it works. Like, let's make this deal happen. That's really it, man. It was just like I hit my personal end where I was like, no, you got to do it. You got to get into this.
It's time to take a leap of faith.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's good, man. That's really good.
Thanks.
All right.
Awesome.
And your second deal.
Yeah, just closed on that one last Tuesday. And this is going to be focused on short-term rentals and also some just like roommates.
Okay.
I mentioned it's owner-occupied, so I got a W-2 job now.
Okay.
And got approved for loan back in the old line of work I used to do that last year.
Okay.
I had closed 2 deals in December, so I had some cash for my down payment then. And to back up the story on this house is it has an in-law suite, and
Nice.
they're popular here. And the current house I'm living at, we're doing Airbnb in one of the rooms, and it's a nice house in Chandler, and we put it live, and it's just like ching 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 ching.
Really?
And right now, February we're gonna make about $900 a month doing that one room.
Okay.
And so I'd always kind of had filters sending me for investment properties, and once I was like, dude, I can get one of those mother-in-law suites.
Yeah.
And so you can have each room, and then I'll live in one, or the mother-in-law suite.
Yeah,
And it
exactly.
basically adds a 5th one. But when it comes to short-term rentals, like, people love their own personal space.
Yeah.
And that's when I got my mindset on this mother-in-law suite.
Nice.
So this property, how many bedrooms, how many baths?
So it has 3 bedroom with closets, but it has a 4th bedroom. I mean, I don't know what side you lean on, closet or no closet, but it has a 4th bedroom to me. And then the mother-in-law suite in the back.
And the mother. Okay.
Just go grab one of those armoire things.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
It's a room.
It's a
closet.
room.
It's got a
Put
closet.
some hangers on there.
Now,
Yeah.
where is this property at?
It is, call it downtown Chandler. So
Oh, nice.
the cross streets are Arizona and Chandler.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Right on.
Okay.
So, I mean, the neighborhood, it doesn't look the prettiest, but
It's all
Yeah.
being what is it? Gentrified? Is
Yeah.
that the
Yeah.
big word that we're supposed to use?
Yeah.
Either way, it's up and
Gentrification.
absolutely up and coming. All kinds of buildings
Well,
are
Chandler,
now
yeah, in general.
new and absolutely
yeah, man. It's
The whole area is transforming right now.
right.
It is. I heard they're just they opened a new hotel down there now. Is that
Mhm.
Built in.
Yeah,
Built-
Yeah.
you can see the
Wow.
the big skyrise buildings that they're starting to make. So
going up?
they're all going up.
Yeah, they're doing a lot in downtown Chandler.
Yeah.
A lot of new upgrades and stuff.
Yep.
So so now that you've known that real estate is goal to financial freedom, what's your next steps on that?
Yeah, so I love that seller finance. Well, right now, short term, like I got to get this house up and running.
Yeah.
And I got to move all my crap in, and
No.
I have one lease signed to rent out just one of the rooms in my place,
Cool.
and have another lady look. So get that set up and cash flowing. The casita wasn't in like the best shape, so it's gonna need a little work.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's short term.
But you're gonna go ahead and do that all
Yeah.
yourself, right?
Oh yeah, man. I really do love the construction side of it.
That's
yeah.
cool. That's
awesome.
really good.
Yeah, have a few beers, pull out the
And go.
hammer, jackhammer, whatever, man. I love that
I
part.
lost
So-
so much stress.
Yeah.
It's just gone now.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Is it the jackhammer or the Dos Equis?
It don't matter at the end of the day. One of the two.
So
Yeah.
on the casito, how much do you think that it's going to cost you to repair?
And what is that? Is it just like one room, just one with living room and?
It's a studio
Okay,
apartment
gotcha.
with a door on the bathroom.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I took the measurements, but I can't remember. It's kind of small, 300-400 square foot.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does it have its own private entrance on the side, right?
Yeah, it does. It's like fully detached. It's on its
Okay,
own slab
nice.
in the back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, we had a triplex. We had a studio too. It was like $200-300. We rented it for like $550.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, small little studio. Yeah.
That's awesome,
It was
man.
like,
Yeah.
it was good money. Man.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So if you rent out one room, and then plus the casita,
Mhm.
you said how much was it that you were estimating that you would be making on that?
On Airbnb.
Mm-hmm.
So our worst month is like $600 where we are in our place. So I would say, yeah, 600 a room.
Wow.
600 a room. Okay,
Mhm.
so you'd be like netting $1,200 on that property.
Net all in. So I mean, if the room is, whatever room I'm sleeping in, it's gonna be on Airbnb. So like I'll go sleep with my girlfriends or whatever, right? Okay. So I mean, rough numbers. There's 5, rooms which includes the casita. So 5 times 6,
Okay.
Damn,
that?
$3,000.
$3,000
$3,000.
net. My mortgage is $1,500, and
So 15.
Okay.
there's a little cubby hole for my clothes and stuff that I plan to keep separate. They call us house hacking on,
Yeah.
Bigger pockets.
Bigger pockets. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly.
house hacking.
It's house hacking. Yeah, absolutely. No, by all means. And,
Damn, that's pretty good.
it's awesome, man.
And,
Especially.
and what kind of people are you getting in there for short-term rentals? Like, and when you say short-term rentals, what is it? A month?
Oh, it's like weeks, like 1 week.
1 week.
Yeah, pretty much 1 week.
So are you getting like a lot of out-of-towners?
Tons of them. You get a combo
Really?
of people work, or a lot of grandparents here, family coming to visit other family, and then the third would probably be events. We have a lot of events here.
Yeah, we do. Wow, that's pretty
So then-
good, man.
Yeah. So then, okay. So you're with the Airbnb. So you're the one that's actually coming back. So they stay there a week. You come back, and you're the one that fluffs the pillows. And
Right
does-
now.
washes the towels and all of that.
Right now, yeah, but there's cleaners out there. I mean, there's like websites strategically for Airbnb hosts that have certified cleaners, and they know because it's not a full clean. Like all I really would need is someone to take sheets off, put sheets on, and tidy up. Like I can do the laundry,
Yeah.
in bulk. So yeah, eventually I know if there's 4 or 5 rooms going at once. It'd be
So
easier to
so
manage.
you're pretty much fully furnishing the place.
Yeah, that's been like the last week and a half. Is
Really?
lots of trips to Goodwill and
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, gotcha.
Good. And so then with your scheduling on Airbnb, so are you also putting it on several websites, not only Airbnb, right? VRBO.
There is VRBO. I haven't experimented with that. So
Okay.
we've been doing the Airbnb since October, and I've looked at VRBO, and I know it's there. I know the people that the house we're doing had it on that. Haven't gotten there yet, though.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
cool.
Right on.
I mean,
So-
if Airbnb keeps you busy, why?
Yeah, I do think I should go. It's more options out there, but our one room that we're doing has been fully booked. It's booked all the way out till like middle of April right now. We just got a booking the other day.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, this is really good.
That's awesome. Good for
So-
you, man. Congratulations.
It's
man.
man.
That is outstanding.
It's fun, man. It's fun too. Like, I mean, I'm pretty well traveled through my years when I did the whole job thing.
Yeah.
So I love meeting people from all walks of life, and that's something too. Like, I was hooked on this Airbnb thing. We get people from South Africa coming through,
Really?
and I love that. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure you guys are really good at talking to other people too. So I'm always grilling them. I'm like, "What do you guys do? How much are houses out there?"
Yeah.
So is that the direction you're headed towards, more Airbnb properties?
Yeah, it's in this market in Phoenix. I mean, we're
Yeah.
a huge city. It's one of
Yeah.
the few ways to actually make good rental income.
Yeah.
This one's owner finance, so my next one would have to be a commercial loan. But,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this one was owner finance.
No.
I thought
Owner
you got
occupied. Did I
owner
say
occupied.
finance?
Yeah, you said owner finance. So
Yeah, owner
okay,
occupied.
so you got a traditional loan, just a 30-year fixed interest rate, right?
Yep.
What kind of rate are you?
3.75.
3.75
Nice.
right now with the market, the way that the interest rates are at. I mean,
Yeah.
by all means, get him.
Yeah, man.
That's
Get
good.
him, get him. Okay, FHA or conventional?
Conventional, yeah.
Conventional,
They did
okay.
5% down.
Okay.
Could have done 3%. It was like right on the border. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Right on. Just trying to figure out all the numbers. And
Yeah,
all
that's
that
good.
stuff.
Nice.
You know,
Yeah,
what's actually happening out there.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Yep. No, by all means. All right. So then, so now what's your, obviously you have your hands full right now,
Mhm.
right? So you haven't even thought about maybe
The next
what
one.
the next step
Mhm.
is, right? But do you have any idea of what the next?
Yeah, so in the back of my head are two things. One, that guy that I got that first seller finance from, I know he has other properties. And I really love the seller finance thing because, you know, the banks aren't involved. No one can
Right.
really say anything.
It's more personal.
It's personal. It's
Yeah.
between you and someone else. You know, the banks were real curious when I was closing this one because they're like, what is this deal? Like, what do you know, the lender that just
Yeah.
closed on this, and they're like, what is this house? What are you doing with that? Like, they had me write a few disclosures, like, you know,
Right.
So you have to tell them you're renting it out. It's
renting it
all
out.
right.
There's no HOA.
Yeah.
Right. You have to show them the lease agreement, ask them, they provide the documentation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that
That's
way
right, yeah, you're a lender.
Yeah, exactly. So they don't include it into your DTI. Yeah, exactly. There's ways around it so that you can get it, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was glad I did. That was a big lesson learned is once it's rented out. And I mean, I'm so new to this. I'm sure you guys have real experienced people. But once you rent something out, you know, it wipes it from your DTI. And I was like, that's huge. And,
Yeah.
you know, people say after a
Yeah.
year you can rent it out. But it's like back to ground zero, right? So they lent me, the house was $280,000. And it's like in a year, you know, I'm going to live there. But then if I rent it out, show them a lease.
Yeah.
Right?
Start
No,
again.
actually, you would just show them your Airbnb income.
Oh, really?
Your Airbnb income, and then from there, that shows you don't even. It would be short-term lease.
Oh, sure.
So
yeah.
So
you don't
then
need a
from
lease
there-
agreement.
Nope, don't need a lease
Oh,
agreement.
So I'd show them the income for the year,
Yep.
and then, oh, hey, I'm out. And, you know, they'd give.
Right.
Oh, that's what I
Yeah,
love, man.
exactly. Just make sure you break even, no losses.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you hit losses, they're gonna count those losses against your DTI.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. So
Right.
a month or two in, it takes a little time to get it up and running.
Yeah.
Right. And a little tip too, if so, the bank. So say for example, if you earn $12,000 on that house, the bank will only say that you're going to earn only 75% of that.
Oh.
75% of that. So you actually have to earn a little bit more
To cover the
to
rent.
cover that 25% that's missing, because if not, they're going to hit you with that against your DTI.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that when they counted my rental income on the Florence house. It wasn't the.
It wasn't
The full
100%.
amount.
Right,
And I was
yeah.
like, huh. I mean, I didn't really care. Like, whatever. But
Right.
I was excited it was wiped from my debt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thinking, like, I was.
But on that one, it seems like you're making more than the 75%, right? Because you're making 1,000, so 75% would be 750.
It's 750, right? It's
Which
750,
covers it.
right? Which
Mhm.
covers it. Yeah, exactly.
Makes sense. Yeah, that's it. It was like exactly that. It was like $150 of income they counted
Mhm.
or whatever.
Yep, exactly.
Huh,
So,
learned that.
yeah.
Thanks for that.
yeah, absolutely. And so then, all right. So now you're here to stay. You're in Arizona,
Yeah,
huh?
I'm here, man. I love it. I love the
good.
weather. Dude, I really love this place. I mean, that's a whole nother topic. But yes, I've been here about a year now, just over a year, and I ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, look at that, man. And
Well, you
Yeah,
even handle the summer. Okay.
Yeah,
exactly.
Oh, that was full remodel time, man.
Yeah.
I was definitely cursing the sun then, man.
115.
No
degree
air
weather,
conditioning in
No
the
air
thing.
conditioning. Yeah.
He's made it through a summer and still says he loves it.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, dude.
That means
You're staying.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not
It's
going
cold
anywhere.
right now. But put a jacket on in the morning. I'm like, what is this, 45 degrees?
Yeah. I
All
know. I get that a lot. You don't. People like me from the west, like this guy, Wisconsin.
Yeah. I'm
It's like
originally
that. I was
from
like, hell no,
Wisconsin.
I'll never go back to the cold.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I get scared just going back when it's winter time, like around Christmas or something.
Mhm.
I'm like, plane's not going to take off. I'm going to be stuck here. I just I want to go home.
Snow.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So
Wisconsin, yeah, that's out there.
now that you have your two deals, and I'm sorry, I always keep coming
No.
back to this, but now that you have your two deals, right? So say for example, 3 months down the road, right?
Mhm.
Your house is now you have your two deals. They're solidified. They're renting out. Income is being produced, right? I know you have a full-time job,
Mhm.
right? How long is it going to take? How many more of these deals is it going to take for you to quit your job?
Yeah, so my number right now is 3,500 of passive cash flow.
Nice.
That's what I'm focusing on. This last year, I spent like kind of dabbling in a lot of things, trying to figure out what I really want to do. So
Okay.
we'll see. But I know the 3,500 is a number that I can get out, be real comfortable, and kind of see.
Yeah.
what I'm
Right.
doing.
So with these two properties, you're probably going to be, if you're being conservative, probably half of that, right?
Yeah.
Half of
Oh,
that. No
nice.
partners, no other investors or anything else
No,
involved
this is
in it.
all my
Okay,
cash.
just all by you by
Mhm.
yourself. All right.
Nice.
So then you'll probably be at half of that. And so then now, if like I said, let's just say 2 to 6 months down the road, right? All of a sudden, you're accumulating a little bit of this cash. You have your full time job. You're saving up. If you had, the extra cash available, what would be your next venture? Where would you spend that money? Right. Obviously,
Or
another
more
seller finance
Or more
deal.
real estate.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, it'd be more real estate. I have my eyes also on a vacation home somewhere up Flagstaff. They'll do what I did think is 10% down for a vacation home.
No.
What is it?
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen
Oh,
one.
second home, maybe.
Right. A second home. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Second
second
home.
home.
Second
yeah,
home,
Second
yeah.
home. Yeah. But second home conventional will do that.
Mm-hmm.
10%
down. Okay.
Yeah, so that I heard that from somebody at some point, and I was like, I could go up in Flagstaff, and we love it up there too. So, and then just do the same short-term rental while we're not
Okay.
there, and
Yeah.
follow the rules. You got to be in it 1 or 2 weeks a year, whatever it is.
Okay. Right on.
So that's-
Look at
that's-
that. Man.
And Flagstaff is pretty good for Airbnbs, I'm sure, too, especially in the winter.
Oh yeah, man. We really love it up there too. Like, there's not much. What is it? Snowball, the skiing up there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Compared
yeah.
to the East Coast, that spot is awesome. So like, we went up there 3 times back to back this winter. Like,
Oh,
to go
nice.
Skiing and stuff. It's like I can't believe this is out here too.
Right. Exactly.
You have it all
Yeah,
here.
exactly. Yeah, the snow is only 3 hours away, and then
3 hours away.
Yeah.
the ocean is 3 hours away. You haven't
Oh,
gone
yeah.
to south to the Rocky Point, have
We
you?
haven't, no.
Okay,
We did
yeah.
a San Diego trip,
I was
but
going
not
to
a
say,
Rocky
you guys did
Point.
California.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in California, too. San Diego. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, you got to go to the Rocky Point though, man.
Yeah.
It cheap. Everything is
Everything's
so
cheap.
inexpensive down
Man,
there.
we do need to get
Yeah,
down
dude.
there.
$1 beer, man.
Dollar beer?
Dollar beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much is it a
beer,
night,
dollar
like in a
tacos.
hotel or whatever?
Oh,
Yeah.
less than a couple hundred
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah,
Easily,
and
yeah.
it's a resort, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a nice resort right by the beach, so
Yeah, that place is.
You can get a condo.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Man,
it's cheap.
need to get out
Yep.
there.
And
Exactly.
actually, that wouldn't be a bad investment, too. Buying a property over there and Airbnb in it. A lot of people go to Rocky
Rocky
Point.
Point. Yeah, how does it work out of country loans? I mean, you have to go through Mexico, or do you get the loan
Yeah,
here?
you have to go through Mexico, and then you have to, I think for Mexico, I don't know. It's
Yeah.
hearsay, and I don't know the laws, and I don't know exactly, but I hear you have to have either dual citizenship in order for you to buy the land.
Oh, maybe you do.
Yeah, you
Not
have to have
sure.
some sort of citizenship or some dual citizenship in
Oh,
order
I've
for you
heard
to
of that
buy it,
before.
and then it's 20% down, and then maybe they'll finance it.
Maybe.
That is still a maybe.
Maybe.
Right.
And you don't get the land, you get the house.
You get the
Yeah.
house. Yeah, exactly. You got to pay off the right people.
Yeah.
right.
Go down there.
Slip
Under
somebody
the
a
table.
5, right?
So your main goal so far has been cash flow. Are you going to
Yeah.
be looking in the future to do any other type of real estate investing, fix and flips?
So I
Families.
like multifamilies. That's where I originally wanted
Okay.
multifamily.
Nice.
Buy one, live in it. Same thing, house
Oh,
hacking.
yes.
That's where it originally started. Buy a duplex when I was in Texas. When I got out here, I started looking at those originally, and just as the story goes, I got a single family, and now I discovered the short-term rental is real popular here.
Yeah.
We're a tourist destination. But fix and flips, to be honest, something that I'm also keeping in the back of my mind. This house I just got has some land, a little bit. It's a larger lot. Flip an RV. That's really what I want to do.
Oh, wow. Yeah, why not?
There's margins in there, good margins. It's a little easier to flip a RV because it's a vehicle. You
Yeah.
don't have to go closing through title company and
Yeah.
legal and
Yeah.
everything. It's a lot easier just to acquire it, flip it. In Phoenix here, I have not done a flip. You guys have, but I think the margins are pretty tight. Is that
It depends. It
Yeah,
depends.
we did multi-unit flips.
Yeah.
gotcha?
So yeah,
So far, yeah.
So far,
We
it's
done it. We
multi-unit
did do a
flips.
house as well, too.
Yeah, so it's not. They're good.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
mean, you're not going to turn it away, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're
No,
not
yeah,
going to say
the
no
margins
to
are
it.
pretty. So far, they've been so good.
Right.
I mean, they've been good. We did a triplex where I have another triplex under contract, and then we have a duplex on the market as well.
And they were flips.
Yeah, and they're all flips.
They're all flips. Yeah.
Cool.
They're all
Yeah.
flips, yeah.
And yeah, they'll make good money. Like it's
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
sizable. Yeah. So.
cool, man.
Yeah, the duplex we bought at
One-
140.
140.
We put 40 into it, and
Yeah, we
so
sold
right
it
now it's
for-
on the market at 3. What was it? 3.
Oh, talking about the
duplex.
The duplex, we got it for 140. We put 40 in it. It's on the market for 340.
Oh man,
340
okay,
right
that's
now.
huge margin.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And then the triplex, we got it for 240, and it's under contract for 345. We put 15.
15.
Wow. Okay, yeah. So it's all about the
10.
deal you
Right.
find.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just finding
you're not
the-
going to walk away from it.
Yeah.
And the one we sold, we got it for 140, put 30, and sold it for 250.
Yeah,
Wow.
and that was just a cosmetic. That was
Yeah.
just just
Clean up.
Yeah.
clean up and
We get them all rented out and then sell them.
Oh, so you sell them as turnkey
Yeah,
rentals.
yeah.
yeah. Absolutely.
Like the triplex, we got 2 tenants, and they all pay each $1,000.
Wow.
And then the house, I guess a buyer wants to live in it,
Okay.
in the house. Yeah,
Buyer wants to live it. So he.
He's essentially getting a free mortgage.
yeah,
Right,
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's gonna be his primary residence.
Yeah.
Mhm. So, have you ever heard of the hopefully have you ever heard of the term called the stack?
The stack, no.
Yeah. Okay. So you're in the position of the stack, and so this is what I've been wanting that we're going to be doing,
Okay.
right? So we purchase single family. You purchase a single family residence, right? So that's one, right? Now you just purchase a second one. Now you have 2 units, right?
Mhm.
So now the next thing for you to do is to jump into multi units, right? So
Mhm.
now you purchase 4.
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden now instead of 2 doors that you have, now you have 6 doors.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And then from there, from those 6 doors, using the equity that you have as leverage for a commercial loan,
Yeah.
now you can all of a sudden jump into 10 doors, 12
Yeah,
doors, 20 doors,
The bigger
and then all of a
stuff.
sudden
Yeah.
go bigger. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a stack.
The stack.
Yeah, look on Bigger Pockets. Brandon Turner. Brandon Turner does a whole entire video on how to do the stack,
Stack.
and he goes up to like 24 units real quick. So it's
Really?
very, very fast. Yeah, absolutely. So that's where we're at.
We're
That's
headed.
where we're the goal.
Yeah, exactly.
What about
So-
don't I have to be a landlord for 2 years? Is that a piece?
It's only for the financing part of it.
Okay.
That's only for the financing. Like a traditional financing, they want to see income for the last 2 years to make
Mhm.
sure that it's profitable on a property. And so then but if you have a lease agreement and the lease agreement is for 2 years, it's also based off of the continuous of income.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
so a lender can say, well, you just bought it 6 months ago, but you have a 2-year lease on it. So
Yeah.
okay, we can count on that lease that income is going to be coming forward.
Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
so that to get into the commercial loans.
Oh, okay. That's what you're talking about. To jump into the commercial loans. Okay.
Yeah. Did I just blow your guys' mind with the stack?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That's it. Let's do the stack.
Yeah.
Well,
Do the stack.
we're all in on that, dude.
Absolutely.
Right now we're trying to acquire we're on number 3 now for, and we almost, no, 4.
4.
We're working on 4 for Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Like we have
Yeah.
3
So
in the
we're-
works.
So you're
and then
working out
one-
there in Wisconsin?
Yep.
We're,
Okay.
we're just getting started there.
Yeah. Just
Oh,
getting
yeah.
Cash
started.
flow.
Right.
This
Exactly.
is the same thing. You get them cheap and they rent.
You're just gonna hold on to them that you plan, buy them, hold on to
Yep.
them.
Yeah.
rent 'em,
Yeah.
equity.
No equity into it. I mean, we're already getting them at 50% of value,
Hmm.
right? At least close
At
to
lea-
it.
Yeah.
As much as close to it, but the point of it is to cash flow. That's
Yeah.
it doesn't at that price and at the rents that they're paying, we're going to be cash flowing very well. So.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And
Yeah,
how are
we
you
do-
guys finding the properties out there?
Wholesalers,
Mhm.
lists,
Direct.
yeah,
You're just getting
everything.
emails
Direct.
and stuff, and you see
Calling.
Here,
Yep. Direct to the
And then there's-
direct to the
there's-
seller.
Stepmom. Right, yeah, stepmom is a realtor over there.
Oh wow, that
Yeah.
worked
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
good,
Yeah.
man.
He's
Well,
the
that's
man.
what
He's
yeah,
the man
works
out
out.
there. He knows everybody. He's like, you need a contract? Got you. You
Yeah.
need a realtor?
My
Got
cousin's
you.
my contractor. My stepmom's a realtor.
Realtor.
I got my brother making calls. Like
Wow.
everybody's involved.
So did you put all this together yourself, or were you doing it out there?
No,
No, we just
this
started
is-
it.
Yeah, it
We
just
So it
started
just
started.
it.
came up.
started.
You're like, yeah, I know this guy, I know that guy, I know
Well,
this guy.
we all the end goal, right, is financial freedom.
Okay.
We all have that same goal, right?
Yeah.
And so this is an avenue to get it, and I know all the pieces of the
Yeah.
puzzle.
And we
to figure it out.
and that's what a lot of people do. Not only a lot of people, but it's the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
It's cheaper. You buy them cheap, and they do it for cash flow.
Mm-hmm.
So there's people that do Michigan. There's people that do different.
Ohio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ohio.
Ohio's
So
the
we were
hottest spot right
thinking,
now.
okay, what? And that's a lot. You just got to do your research. But him coming from Wisconsin, Racine,
Yeah.
we were like, okay, let's look into it. And we started looking into it. And yeah, the values that we were wanting for cash flow were right there. So like, why are we looking
not?
anywhere else? We have feet in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
There's everybody. We have everything there.
That's
Yeah.
awesome,
Yeah.
man.
So
Exactly.
So for, I guess, the logistic piece, is there any hold up being an out-of-state buyer? I mean, is there just a checkbox on a contract? I mean, it doesn't affect anything?
no.
No. I mean, we're buying it, so
Yeah.
we understand. Since obviously we're all in real estate, we understand what the consequences could be and what the risks are involved. But I mean, at the end
But
of the
as far
day,
as hold up, because
Yeah.
you think because we're out of state and it's another. No, there's no hold up.
No.
I mean,
Yeah.
we're buying it. We're buying it with hard money.
They have their own nuances when it comes
yes.
to like the wholesaling aspect of it, but they also have their own contract. It's not a typical AAR, like ours is. There are a lot of little different things,
differences. It's the same. It's buying real estate.
you're just buying real estate.
but buying real estate,
Yeah.
making sure that we can rent it out.
The biggest thing, and the biggest thing is, I guess when you're doing that is just be knowledgeable about the area.
Yeah.
Know
Yeah.
what's a good area, what's not a good area.
we've already.
Yeah. We're already.
Right. When a lender tells you no, we're not going to finance that, that's usually a good a sign for you not to buy it, right? Not to go into it.
Wow.
So, yeah. Exactly.
So you're getting them with hard money, the whole BRRRR strategy, clean them up, brand them out, and refinance out, or how are you guys?
Actually, you know what? Good thing that you're
Yeah.
asking about that. So what we actually do is that, so say for example, we purchase a property for $40,000, right? What we'll do is that we'll look to see what the repairs are, and let's just say that it comes out to $10,000. So now we're in at $50,000, right? So what we'll do is that we'll get it to the point where we acquire it as hard money. Then we'll find a private investor. So if you're willing to invest, let us know. What they do is that they'll put a note. They don't want to be a landlord, right? But they have $50,000 that's inside of their savings account that's earning 0.25.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we'll go ahead and get a note, and we'll pay them anywhere between 7 to 10% on that money. Right. It's already cash flowing as it is, and then we just replace the hard money lender.
Yep.
Right, for somebody more long term. Right. We'll hold the note year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever length that they're comfortable getting their money on.
We're working with someone right now too to do a seller finance thing, so there's that.
Yeah, and there's that same thing, seller finance out there and stuff. So
That's cool, the personal note, someone just giving you their money, holding the note.
yep,
Yeah.
holding
They're in
that.
first lien position, so
Right.
if something happens,
Yeah, you get a house.
Worst case, you get a house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, but
And the thing, I mean, between 7 and 10%, where you getting that at a bank?
Yeah.
Right.
Nowhere.
yeah, exactly.
And then so the on the note there, when they're holding it, you're just paying them. Is it a 5-year term, or is it balloon
Whatever,
it for
whatever they
whatever
want, whatever we
there?
negotiate, right?
5,
we
10.
yeah, exactly. 5-10 would be optimal, right? But if they want it in a year, okay, fine, a year, right? We'll just find it. We'll just substitute another investor,
Yeah.
at the end of the year, right? We don't want to do that too often because then 5 years down the road, it's going to be 12 to
A
24
bubble.
months.
Yeah.
It's like we got to find new investors
Yeah,
and
more work.
recirculate the whole thing. The reality of it is that if they get paid every single month,
Yeah.
they're going to continue to want to
Work on it,
do
yeah.
it
Yep.
again. Do it
Oh,
again.
yeah.
Yeah, and then their money's being held by real estate.
Mhm.
So at the end of the day, there's security there. At the worst case comes to worst, you own a house.
Yeah.
You just sell it.
Yeah.
Boom.
You just sell it, right?
Yeah, but a lot of the
So if
houses,
you got some
yeah.
money,
Yeah.
you want to invest it,
So a lot
we
of
have
the-
some avenues.
A lot of the houses, we're pretty much. I mean, it's not too hard to get them there at 50%.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I've been
So
noticing.
you just
yeah.
get wholesaler emails. The houses are
Yep.
good to buy. I mean, they're not in.
Yeah, well, we don't. We want to avoid the wholesalers
Okay.
because that extra fee is going to cut into our overall
Yeah.
profit. But yeah, I mean, if a wholesaler does bring it to us, by all means,
Yep.
we'll
If
go ahead and
it's-
look at
if
it and
it's-
we'll see if it makes sense.
Cool.
But his brother's over there making calls as well
That's
to,
awesome.
to all the sellers just
Yeah.
to see. And,
Well, today he just hit a jackpot, and
Yeah.
we're kind of working that out.
Got
And
4
if that
properties,
comes,
four
it's
properties, duplex.
all duplexes.
One
So-
guy trying to get
Yeah.
rid of 4
Yep.
duplexes.
Yep.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that kind of pans out, and dude, if that's something we
Stack
pick
the
up,
stack, right?
Yeah.
The stack, right? Exactly, the stack.
There you go.
The stack.
You
Yeah,
get it,
absolutely.
get it. That's awesome. Cool.
Cool, man.
So, where can I'm trying to take it down now? But where can anybody find you? Do you have social media or Are you not out there?
Yeah, I'm ScottVleeschouwer.com. I mean, I do have a
Scott
website.
Vleeschouwer. Wow.
Oh, nice.
You'd have to
You
learn
keep
how to spell that.
Right, exactly.
We'll put it on the notes on the bottom.
Yeah, or Instagram. I'm real active on Instagram.
Oh, okay, cool.
What is that?
Scotty with a Y, SCOTTY _V_.
All right,
cool.
Nice.
Awesome.
Scotty
Cool.
V.
Cool,
Yeah.
man. So,
And hopefully we can touch base in a couple months again and see how everything else is going.
Yeah,
All right.
I'd love that, man. Let you
Yeah.
guys know the actual numbers. on
Yeah,
this,
exactly.
on the
Airbnb house.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
gonna be. You're gonna do well. I
I
mean,
think
downtown
so, too.
Chandler. Yeah, oh my gosh,
No.
you're gonna do extremely
I didn't
well
think
there.
it was that good, man. Now that you're
Nice.
saying it's like,
Right,
man.
you actually opened up my mind right now. I'm like, oh my
yeah,
god.
me too.
Oh my
now
god.
I'm thinking it's like, wow, you're saying
Opportunity.
yes.
Right, here it is. It's knocking.
Yep.
It was a whirlwind of a deal to get closed, man. The lady flipped it, and she put about $100,000 into the flip.
Oh wow.
So it was overpriced. She was trying to sell it like 30-40 grand over what it was worth. So I had to put the contract in for her price because she was not all there. I don't know how to say it, but there was no convincing her otherwise. So I was like, here, we'll let the appraiser decide.
Yeah.
Decide, right? And so, what did the appraisal come in at?
Originally $265.
What was you selling it for?
At start was $325.
Oh wow.
Wow. Is that? So what did you end up getting under contract for?
$314 because they had lowered it on the MLS.
Oh, okay.
So no, that's a lie. It was $294. They lowered to $314, and then they told me it went under contract. I went on my way and looking for something else, and then
They came back.
it came back, and they had it on there for $294. So I gave her the contract for $294.
Okay.
And then the appraisal came back at
$265 the first time.
Another $30,000 down.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you mean the first time?
So she
Disputed it.
when it came in, yeah, she disputed
Oh,
it. She
okay.
came in, and so I got a text, on the golf course saying, "Hey, I'm so sorry, the seller's gonna back out." And I was like, "What do you mean back out? Like we're 3.5 weeks into this.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna figure this out."
Yeah.
So then I had to try to convince that, and the agent and seller relationship was a whirlwind, man. But,
Yeah. So she disputed the appraisal, and what did it come back? The second?
$280.
Oh wow.
She had permits, I guess, outstanding that weren't closed.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
So the square footage wasn't accurate.
Okay.
And I really didn't care. I mean, like you said, the area, the area
Yeah.
is good. The house is like, it's something you see in magazines, right? So it's just closed, load it with furniture and let's go.
Yeah. Awesome.
That's pretty good, man.
Awesome. Cool,
So,
man.
so she agreed at the 280.
Yeah. Yep. There's like this other, it was a whole thing, man. There was another lady involved who wasn't the agent, and she was ultimately the one that I was talking to because the agent and the seller weren't talking. And she's like, "I'll put her in her plate." Dude, it was like,
Wow.
it was not fun, man. Talk about a month of
It's
suspense.
so crazy, some of the agents here in the Valley. It's
Oh,
just,
yeah.
I can't believe it.
Man.
I can't.
So, yeah, she wouldn't put her in the place, but the agent, so this other lady and she helped her, flipped it. She was a friend, but now they're not talking, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
Eventually, she was just like, "You have to close on this. Like, you're stupid." Kind of, like, that's what she
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
like, just get done and move on to your next one. And so,
So I wonder. So do you know how much she got it? She put in 100. Did
Yeah.
she end up losing money?
oh, I'm pretty sure she did. The actual number she put into the flip, I've heard varying things. The agent said like 67. This other lady said 100. So they got it under contract for 180. The one lady that I was saying got firm, she wholesaled it to her for 200.
Ooh.
Okay.
And then so from 200, she put in between 67 and
Ooh,
100,000.
yeah, so she was
So
just
she
right
did
at
lose
break
money,
even.
yeah. Or even
Right
lost.
from break even or
Yeah.
lose, right? Because agent commissions and all
And
that.
then
Yeah.
holding
Oh,
costs, if there
And
was
then
any.
holding- and
I had to
holding
cut
costs.
my commission for it to close. That was the other piece.
Well, yeah, that's a good thing, right? You're a
Yeah.
real estate agent, so you get your 3%.
I was like, here,
on it.
yeah, take the
Yeah,
whatever it
commission
is,
off.
8,400. Like, just close it.
Yeah.
The other lady had to submit like 2,000 of her commission.
Wow.
So, yeah, imagine the seller,
Wow.
the listing agent. She doesn't want to deal with this lady now. She's trying to tell her, give me less money than you were.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. No, that's the beauty of real estate,
Yeah.
man. That's the beauty of real estate. You
Yeah.
never know what you get into, and
Don't.
you got to figure out a way to get it done.
Just get it closed. That was
Right.
my goal, man.
Yeah,
I was
get
like,
it closed,
I
get it
knew that
closed.
the numbers were phenomenal.
Yeah.
The area is phenomenal. I was like,
Yeah.
whatever. I guess
Just
deal
make
with
it work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just had to make it work.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate that you came out.
Yeah, thanks, Scotty.
Yeah, I really appreciate it, guys.
Yeah.
That was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Lending lesson 101.
Exactly. That's what we're here, try to provide value. All right,
guys,
so and that's it. We're out. So once again, use batch skip tracing for all of your needs. Promo code CNH. And thank you guys. You guys are awesome. And thanks, Scotty, for coming in.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for having me, guys.
All right, man. And mahalo.